Hello, and welcome to my VR playlist, where I'm making these videos for my students, just in case they can't find the right tutorial online. They can always have this as backup. I'm going to show you my process from creating 3D assets in Gravity Sketch, getting those assets from Landing Pad, taking them into Unity, making, from there, we're going to just build the VR environment, which is super easy to do. And then after, we're going to make things grabbable and interactive. And hopefully by the end of the whole playlist, you'll have a basic understanding, like the fundamentals of just creating a VR application. And at the end of it, I make art, but you could easily make an application design instead. Or a game. So it's really up to you what you do with this. We are going to start in Gravity Sketch building in VR, and then the next step is we're going to take those models, we're going to put them into Unity. So here is Landing Pad. I'm signed into my account. I requested a university profile, so it's super duper cool because we get extra space and everything. So here, when you're in Landing Pad, I might have already told you all this, but I'll just repeat myself if not. So I've got my workspace here, which is only I can see this. And then I've got the EDU, University of Texas at Austin workspace, which I applied for us. So I'm going to add y'all here later. And we've just got extra assets and stuff here. So, yeah, I'm going to go back to my workspace, and for right now, I made a folder called Me, Sydney Parks, and then before I got started, building assets, I like to build towards a bigger idea. So I'm starting with a project called Ascension, which may or may not change in the future, and I'm thinking of it as being an interactive, immersive experience, a world that's a biosynthetic world. So I have I'm going to make a hot air balloon. So I have a balloon model, planet models, and reference photos. And in ChatGPT, which is DALL-E 3, I think, I generated some images that I put into Gravity Sketch, and I just used them as a reference photo to build this 3D model. Right now I only have one planet model so far, but here's some screenshots that I took. I don't know if there's any upright. So yeah, so I just imported that image and worked just like I would if I was sculpting in real life. I exported from Gravity Sketch, and you can go to this Cloud Exports beta right here, and you just click on this and download it, and it'll pop up into your folder, and you can just save that to wherever you feel you want to save that to. Right now I have Unity Hub, which hosts all my projects, and I can create a new project. Learn, community, installs. So I have 2020.3.18 installed right now. Could probably maybe do an update. Okay, so that install took a lot longer than I thought it would. I ended up just installing a new Unity Hub version 3.8.0, the latest version. And so the interface looks a little different and better, in my opinion. So I still, for the installs, it recommended 2022.3.37 F1. And I'm just going to experiment and give this a go. And if it doesn't work the way I was hoping, I'll just let y'all know. But this is the version I got. So you can have multiple versions. You can see even though I installed a new Unity Hub, all my projects are still there. But there's this little notice saying missing editor version. So I guess if I want to open up that old project, I'll just download the old Unity version that I need. we're just going to create a new project. And it took me to learning, but I'm going to all templates here. And so you can see, y'all are pretty familiar, I think, with Unity, but we've got like different templates that we could potentially use. There's a VR one. Don't do the VR template. Nobody that I've learned from has ever chosen the VR template. Instead, what I have used is 3D built-in render pipeline. You can absolutely use that. I think instead though, we may use the universal 3D, the URP. So like if you like click on these, it'll tell you over here a little bit more about it. So the URP, universal render pipeline, blank template includes settings and assets you need to start creating with URP. So let's go ahead and use the universal 3D for our VR environment. Project name is called Ascension, so it's going to stay consistent. Ascension VR. Hopefully I'm spelling Ascension correctly. Okay, so I chose the folder Unity organization. I'm called Strong Owl. No. All right, create project. So waiting for the project to be created is going to take just a little bit of time. So maybe you can minimize and do something else for a second. Hopefully this is working properly. I reorganized my interface. It took about 10 minutes to load the project. So the hierarchy was like over here and game was like here, something like that. But the way that I like to organize it and the way that I was taught, and that's to put the hierarchy here, projects under the hierarchy here, and the inspector is to the right, the console here, and then game will be underneath scene. So I have the scene as the biggest piece. I want to see like console logs. Got my projects hierarchy and inspector, and I'll just make this a little bit smaller. So yeah, this feels comfortable to me. So you can come over here if you want to save your layout and put like my layout or something. I've already got my layout saved, so anytime it like reorganizes, you can just like go and select that, and voila. Cool, so now let's just drag and drop our Gravity Sketch object that we made. In the assets, I'm just going to create a new folder called models, and then I'll create another folder called materials, and in the models folder I'll just drag and drop my plant models folder right on it. You can open that up, go to plant 1, so you don't have to like recreate all the folders. And you can see here that our model and material are loaded in. I want to drag and drop my prefab into my scene. And so what I did was there was like the default scene here. So I just deleted that, and I went ahead and added a new scene. And you can just go to save scene as and title it, and then save it to your project folder that you created in the assets folder. Okay, so now that I've got my scene here, I'm just gonna like drag and drop my prefab to see what it looks like. And oh no, I forgot that whenever I was in Gravity Sketch, I left the reference photo in the export. So I'm gonna right click this, prefab in the hierarchy, go to prefab, unpack, and now it's just like a regular project object. So you could probably, go and select whatever you don't want here and just go ahead and delete it. You can like grab all the pieces together with this parent object, or go to like the child objects and select things one by one. It's come into the scene in a sideways position. So we'll just like come over here. I usually just like keep it on this one here called the transform tool, because the transform tool has like all of the tools. So yeah, I'm just gonna grab the red and flip it up. And here in the game scene, you can see it. And then eventually I'll move my camera, but actually we're gonna end up, I think, getting rid of the camera anyway. Ta-da! There's my model.